Chris is a great kid. I think he's a tremendous basketball player. He's a great competitor. I absolutely love him.
Chris Herron does it all for Jerry Tarkanian. He can run the break, he can shoot the three, and they're 13-3 with him in the lineup. A talented Tulsa team features the slashing of Rod Thompson. The inside dominance of Michael Ruffin. Dogs and Hurricane coming up. A Sunday matinee of college basketball in the Bible Belt. Welcome to Tulsa, where the Hurricane and the Fresno State Bulldogs aren't worried about first place in the Pacific Division of the WAC. Nobody's going to catch TCU at 11-0. This is a battle for second place. Bob Carpenter and Larry Conley, welcome to T-Town. And Larry, is anybody in the nation more valuable to his team than is Chris Herron of FSU?
You can make a big argument for him. He's had some problems off the court, but on the court, this young man is as good as it gets in the backcourt. Watch him go down inside with his ball. He can put it on the floor, and is a great long-range shooter. Now on the other side for Tulsa, obviously they've got a great inside-outside combination. Michael Ruffin and Rod Thompson. Ruffin here kicking the ball out to Thompson. They don't have Jay Seals burying outside shot, so Thompson's had to pick up the scoring. As has Ruffin, a young man who really defensively and rebounding is as good as they get in this league. He also has picked up his scoring.
Great rebounding battle today. Jermaine Folks, 11 a game. Back for FSU. Michael Ruffin, 10 a game for TU.
It doesn't matter if you're looking for a car or a truck. If you're looking for the best dollar value, see your Oklahoma Ford dealer today. For a limited time, get a Ford Taurus with 2.9 financing and save over $70 a month. And Escort with $1,000 cash back and save $45 a month. Get 2.9 financing on Ranger and save $61 a month. Or get 4.9 financing on Ford F-150, the best-selling truck in Oklahoma, and save over $70 a month. So hurry to your Oklahoma Ford dealer today.
With over 40 years under the same family ownership, Jack Cassey Ford Mercury is your low overhead landmark in the car business. All Ford products cost the same from Ford. It's the dealer that makes the difference. At Cassey, we sell new and used Fords and Mercurys for less, a lot less. Cassey also has the most experienced salespeople in the area. Most have been here for years, not days. Before you buy, make that short drive to the south side of Claremore to the low overhead landmark, Jack Cassey Ford Mercury.
Hurricane, a good team over the last 3 years at home, a record of 33-7 on this floor. Eric Coley, one of Bill Self's versatile guys. He's the best athlete on the team. He can get a lot of offensive rebounds. A physical presence gives Tulsa a lot of those intangibles. But how about rebounding? Jermaine Folks missed a couple of games due to suspension. 7 double-doubles this year, coming off a 17-point, 13-rebound game at Rice. As mentioned, averaging 11 rebounds a game for Jerry Tarkanian. Tark has coached twice in Tulsa with Long Beach State and UNLV earlier in his career. It's been a crazy year for Tark with all the suspensions, injuries, etc.
I thought we could really be good. I thought up until the time when we lost Jones and Forney, we were going to become a great team. Really going to be a great team. We have potentially a chance at really being good if we would have kept everybody together.
One of the assistant coaches joking with Larry Conley before the game, if we keep getting guys suspended, we might win the national championship.
Well, you take a look right here. Here's the shakeup for the Bulldogs. Forney, Walton, Herron, Jones, Folks, Austin. Look at the number of games they've missed. Forney continues to be suspended, as does Avondre Jones. And, of course, Willie Farley has transferred
to North Florida, where, by the way, the head coach is Sidney Green, one of Tark's former players at UNLV. Michael Ruffin to jump it up against Larry Abney. Abney, the sophomore out of Nyack, New York, and he's an interesting guy. He was about 8th on the rotation. Now he's a starter. Opening pass. Williams to Ruffin. Yes. And a foul.
What a great look inside by Sean Williams to start this game for the Golden Hurricane. Watch Williams, left side. Ruffin's been asked to score more this year with Seals' departure, and he's done very well in there.
Well, some of the folks might remember Michael Ruffin from our December 1st telecast here. when they beat Nebraska on the strength of a tremendous second half. In that game, Michael Ruffin took 8 of 14, and Bill Self wants him to shoot more. Tulsa got a second chance. They settle for the 2-0 lead. This is Rafer Alston, the Fresno State point guard. All over him, coming out to help with defense, is Eric Coley. Tulsa, a very aggressive defensive team. They love to get in the lanes.
Bob, how often do you get a basketball game where you've got 2 players, 1 on each squad, who's averaging a double-double? And we've got that today with Michael Ruffin and Tremaine Folks.
I think Fresno's a much better team with Folks back in there.
Look at the pressure again. Look at Ruffin out on Folks.
That's 25 feet from the basket.
With guys averaging 22 rebounds.
There's Heron. Tough assignment today for Rod Thompson, who gets him on the way up. Ball was blocked by Zach Bennett, but the foul took place before then. Boy, if you love watching guards, folks, you're going to have a good time today with Rod Thompson, the Tulsa senior out of Tiny Beggs, Oklahoma, and the man stepping to the line out of Boston, Chris Heron. They're 1-4 without him, 13-3 with him in the lineup.
He's got a tremendous shot. I love the way he flexes his knees. He squares up well to the basket. And I'm not just talking about his free throw. I'm talking about his movement on the floor when he gets it.
A lot of arc, nothing but net, and we're tied. Tulsa in the league with a record of 6-3. Fresno State a game ahead at 7-2. Everybody looking up at Billy Tubbs' TCU club, a club that Larry Conley saw the other night. A little short from Sean Williams.
It's like watching a tennis match.
Some 94-foot ping pong, huh?
Oh, my goodness, up and down the floor. Billy's got one of those clubs. He loves to put together that offense. And he talks more about defense.
Well, he did that down in Norman, too. Heron for 3, well beyond the arc. This guy is really something. Shooting 40% out there now.
Excuse me, Bob. I don't think he has a range. I think he can go about as far as he wants to go. And, of course, Jerry Tarkanian is going to let him do that.
Williams, a good stabilizer at point guard. Gets it back from Bennett. He'll step down and be stopped by Heron. Coley for Thompson. Fresno State mainly a man-to-man team. They'll get into that Tark amoeba now and then. Not much arc for Ruffin there. Hard work in the offensive glass, but a foul by Zach Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett was up over the back. One of the things I've noticed about Fresno State, and talking to Jerry Tarkanian this morning, he said, I love to front the post. I love to play pressure man-to-man defense. He says, I'm not able to do that because I don't have the personnel to do it. He says, I'd love to go out and press. I just can't.
Taking away Coley. Watch out. This guy's an athlete.
I saw nothing but white jerseys on the run out. Good pass by Heron.
Transition. Might have been Ruffin, might have been Bennett. How about that? Fresno State gives up a slam, but as you mentioned, Larry, there were 3 white jerseys down the court. They only needed 1.
Exactly. When one guy's going in for the layup, have one guy follow. Now, there's nobody back for Tulsa. Smart play by the Bulldogs to get this ball out of bounds quickly, and guess who got it up the floor? Chris Heron. Good look up.
At the line, Tremaine Folks the miss. Bill Self has to make an early substitution because Zach Bennett has 2 fouls. He brings in 6'9" sophomore John Cornwell. Like Bennett, a local kid.
One of the things that Fresno State has really struggled with this year is free throw shooting. Only 59%.
Last in the WAC. But they did hit 20 of 25 at Rice the other night. 6'4" Bulldogs over the Hurricane. Ruffin high post, back to her cut. Coley, good blocked in midair. Wow, what a defensive play by Tremaine Folks. That was going to be another slam by Coley.
What great offside defensive help. Look at this play. Coming all the way across and got all ball. What a play.
Wow.
Tremaine Folks.
You got to get 2 rebounds for that.
Well, Bob, you're right. They're so much better with him in the lineup.
Ruffin gets away from Abney. Gets a rebound. Scores! Michael Ruffin is the all-time leading rebounder at Tulsa. Over his 3-year career, he's averaged 9 a game. Folks off the double team. Can't knock it down. Ruffin deflects. Picked up Rod Thompson. For 3.
He wanted to push. Heron got back down into the paint. He let it go. Rod Thompson really shooting well from out there.
His 58th 3 of the year. Tulsa suddenly a 5-point run. Roberson to kick, deflected Williams, hustling, can't save it. Bulldogs will have it with 21 on the shot clock. Tell you what, Larry, this might be a Sunday afternoon, but it's no day of rest for these two. They are getting after it early.
Yeah, Bill Self's club really doing a nice job down inside, denying the basketball, keeping it away from there.
Alston for three. Ray for a great assist man. Can't knock it down. John Cornwell, the Tulsa rebound. The swing for Coley. They post up Ruffin. This time he has to get away from the basket, though, to catch the pass. Roberson waiting to trap him. He dribbles through it, and that's a block on Chris Herron.
You can see Fresno State with a lot of off-the-ball help. They'll come across that lane down inside. Once again, you'll see Ruffin push the ball down into the paint. Herron comes from the other side. I'm not too sure Herron wasn't there.
I was interested there in the defense by Terrence Roberson, standing right there. He never did extend his arms to try to get a steal. Shea Seals just departed, number 3 in that all-time rebounding list. But keep in mind, Michael Ruffin's only a junior.
But what a career he's already had here, Bob.
He's their all-time leader in blocks with 160. Winfred Walton will check in for Fresno State.
He very nearly had a triple-double this year against Tulane, and the only thing he lacked, he had 9 blocks against Tulane. Can you imagine having a triple-double with blocks included?
Bruce Vanley played here for Nolan Richardson back in the early 80s.
Razorbacks went down yesterday to Tennessee.
How about that SEC? You've seen some upsets over there.
I have indeed. I watched Kentucky Ole Miss yesterday, and the Rebels got Kentucky. Kentucky lost their 3rd game at home this year. That's a rare occurrence.
I think March will be mad this year. Tulsa now 11-6. They've scored 7 unanswered points.
Tulsa's in that man-to-man defense. Williams comes all the way to almost to midcourt.
Alston for Herron. Thompson right on him. Look at that penetration. He can't find the touch. Ruffin, another rebound. He's got 2 already. Plus he's deflected another one that led to a Thompson rebound. Thompson for 3. Quick release.
His second one. And that was as long as Herron would shoot one.
A 10-0 Tulsa run.
As Tulsa clubs won 6 of their last 7 games, I can see why. Good, strong rebounding and excellent shooting from the perimeter.
Fresno's won 8 of its last 9. There's Winfred Walton trying to face up. Over Cornwell. Oh, the follow by Tremaine
inside by Folks. That's going to be a technical foul. Either that or they're going to warn him. Is it a warning?
Yeah, looks like it. I guess we'll call that nearly taunting. That breaks the 10-0 Tulsa run. What a start here. 14-8 Golden Hurricane. We're seeing some hoops early.
These days, we could all use more endurance. Say about 24 hours worth. I know I could. And now I've got it. Because now the Odor Fighter's a new high-endurance deodorant lasts even longer. New high endurance lasts a full 24 hours. No one else is this strong, this long. Plus, it's got this new Pure Sports scent. So now you can smell better, longer. Guaranteed. Or call 1-800-PROVE-IT and Old Spice will buy you a stick of yours. Hey, no matter what you're into, now you've got all the endurance you need. A full 24 hours. Guaranteed.
A good sweat isn't so good once the game is over. That's why there's Irish Spring Sport. It has an extra antibacterial ingredient that kills odor-causing germs better than regular soap. It's Irish Spring Sport. Play as hard as you like.
Why would anybody be on Wall Street on a Sunday afternoon?
Meet James Kramer from TheStreet.com, where they're obsessed with getting you financial news like no one else can.
Because Sunday here is Monday in Tokyo.
Hit TheStreet.com.
Let's go!
Vacation travelers know that when it comes to renting a car, there's really only one place to go. National Car Rental. Especially if you're going to the happiest place on earth. Because as the official car rental company of Disneyland in Southern California, National gets you in your car and on the road fast. For a family vacation you'll never forget. So what are you waiting for? Let's go to Disneyland with National Car Rental.
Let's go!
Okay, it's a replay.
Watch again the movement of the basketball out on the wing. You're going to see folks come in here after the miss by Walton. Watch folks follow. Now he comes back, does a little shouting and screaming, and Ed Hightower, the official, walked over, said something to him. I thought he was going to get a technical. All he got was a warning. You cannot taunt. They have tried to discourage that in college basketball, and Ed Hightower right on top of it. Jerry Tarkanian said something to his players. He walked over. He said, no more of that.
First 5 minutes. Great whack ball game in Tulsa so far. Thompson, high post, Cornwell. They got the little point guard Williams out there. There's Coley. Well off to the left, but Michael Ruffin anticipates. Shovels Coley. Coley traveled. Didn't put it on the floor quickly enough. They've got Rod Thompson out there with Williams. That's the first Tulsa turnover. Bill Self, first-year Tulsa coach. He had 4 very good rebuilding years down about 9 miles from here at Oral Roberts University. Got them to the NIT last year at 21-7.
Talk about progress. How about going 6, 10, 18, and 21 in wins each of the successive years at ORU?
I wish my portfolio looked like that. Here's Roberson, 18-footer. Terrence a little bit short. Ruffin controlling the boards, takes a bit of a bump. It sort of appeared Winford Walton was trying to get out of the way, but how do you miss Michael Ruffin at 6'8", 230?
Well, once again, Ruffin on that backboard. What a job he has done for this Tulsa Golden Hurricane basketball club, averaging a double-double, 10 rebounds. Anytime you got to go inside, he's always around the basketball.
Out of Cherry Creek in Englewood, Colorado, made the all-WAC defensive team last year. He'll probably be there again. Williams, sweet little touch off the glass. That's the first basket for the JC All-American a year ago. Up the road at NEO A&M. Nice move underneath Tremaine Folks.
Boy, does Folks have a lively body. That ball hit his hands, and he just hopped across that lane.
Thompson, a high pick from Ruffin. Little change of pace. Flashes to the three-point line. Now he slashes.
Nice pass. Oh, how pretty is that?
Flash and slash and dish.
Great offensive play.
18-10 for the home team. If Tulsa wins this thing, there will be a second-place tie in the Pacific Division. Heron long with the three. Williams lost it. Ray for Alston. Looked like he traveled, but I'm not sure he ever had control of the ball.
I don't think he had possession. He was fumbling the ball all the way to the basket.
Marcus Hill getting ready to check in for TU. Yeah, Williams, the littlest guy out there, had the rebound, but then he lost it. Now John Cornwell misreads his backdoor cut, and the Hurricane turns it over. Marcus Hill coming in. Marcus Hill just off orthoscopic knee surgery 3 weeks ago on that left knee.
Well, speaking of that, I understand you had some little work done on your knee, too, by the same doctor.
Same doctor, George Marmon. Doc told me that Marcus's comeback at his age, Larry, will be much quicker than mine.
I'm telling you, sitting behind this microphone is hazardous duty.
What a good slash that was by Roberson. Nice little 12-footer. I really like Terrence. He's number 3 on their team in rebounds, assists, steals, and shooting percentage. There's Marcus Hill. Good motion offense here by Tulsa. Backdoor, tough catch. Ruffin hacked on the way up.
I thought Ruffin might have traveled before he got fouled. Ed Hightower with the call again. Watch Coley move to the left side, which opens it up on the inside. Actually, it looked like the folks had a hold of Ruffin's jersey as he was going in there.
Tremaine gets the foul. Ruffin to the line. He's had 4 double-doubles his last 5 games. Well on his way again today. And he is a good free throw shooter for a big man. Came in at 68%. They've got him out there 33 minutes a game. If he makes it, he gets to leave. He'll be replaced by Jay Spurlock. Ruffin leaving with 10 points and 4 rebounds already.
He's well on his way to another double-double.
Yep. Jay Spurlock, one of those huge TU youngsters out of nearby Cleveland, Oklahoma, at 6'10", 235.
You know, Bob, you and I were talking about that before the game. This Tulsa club's got a lot of big young people.
Heron. Cornwell got him from behind. Tremaine Folks can't hit, but Winfred Walton is there to tip it in.
Oh, Bill Self said the ball was on the rim.
20-16 Tulsa. It's been a wonderful first 8 minutes. Marcus Hill for three. The left-hander off. There's Tremaine Folks, and that'll be his 5th rebound already. Heron to the baseline. Alston. Rafer for three.
Pretty play. Rafer Alston was wide open at the top of the three-point lane. Good look out by Heron. He was in trouble on the baseline. Boy, this Fresno State club is very active.
Hey, how about the WAC? This game today, tomorrow night on Big Monday, we've got New Mexico at UNLV. This league's going to put on a good show this weekend. Thompson wins it back. Spurlock skied too early. Over the baseline, says David Hall. Tulsa will keep it. When we come back, Bill Self will get his team organized. They were up by a bunch. Now it's one. Thompson and Ruffin. There's Larry Conley's outside-inside guys.
Michael Johnson's got foot action. Michael Johnson's got the world record in the 200 meters. Michael Johnson trains in the Nike Air Max Triax. You've got foot action. You can't have the world record in the 200 meters. Why?
Because I won't let you have it.
For every action, there's foot action.
Armed with the knowledge of the past, we move forward to create a better future for our children. As we look toward tomorrow, all eyes must focus on 2 key goals. The first is increasing the budget for education. The second is what is the second goal?
I want my baby back. Chili, baby back real. I want my baby. Chili, baby back real. I got my baby back reels.
Steve Levy back in our ESPN College Basketball Studios. Nip and tuck all day. St. John's and Seton Hall. It's tuck now. Felipe Lopez hits the bucket. The Johnnies by 6. Guys?
All right, Steve, couple of clubs in that league playing pretty well down the stretch. And how about these two? As Larry mentioned, Tulsa winning 6 of his last 7. They've shot the ball at 49%, holding their opponents at 40 during that time. And over the longer haul, slightly, Fresno State 8 of its last 9. The big question is, will Jerry Tarkanian at 14-8 get a 20-win season for the 26th time in his 27 years? Isn't that something?
681 wins in 27 years. We're not even finished with this season.
And Tark says he'd like to come back and finish this job at Fresno next year, maybe a little beyond. Johnny Gendron into the game for Tulsa, bottom left of your screen. He's one of their good three-point snipers. Johnny's been battling a bad ankle. Thompson slashing. Nobody got him. You got to help against a guy like Rod Thompson. They get out in Chris Heron's face. Ruffin helping there to prevent the 3. So they go other side, and there's the dimension of Terrence Roberson.
Yeah, but Tulsa went to the zone, and they didn't cover up the wing down on the corner down there. Roberson, a good shooter from out there. 41%. In fact, the best three-point shooter on this club.
Dogs a nice job, Larry, of skipping it over the top there. To the hole. Nothing there. Ruffin the rebound. He was fouled after the miss by Zach Bennett. Zach checking back in after the 2 early fouls.
Well, these two clubs had a terrific outing up at Fresno State. Several players were missing in that game, so we expected to see a good game here today.
Fresno beat Tulsa by 4 on January 15th. Both teams shot fairly well.
Look at the turnovers by Tulsa and the steals by Fresno State. That was the difference in the game.
I think they call that going on the road.
That's a lot of steals in the game, 18.
Ruffin with 11 already on the point side.
Fresno State club very good defensively, a mark of Jerry Tarkanian's teams.
Tulsa by 2, nearing the halfway point first half, and it's been a dandy. Walton the kick on the wing. Ray for Alston. This is Heron. They've kept him quiet since his first 2 possessions. He shuffles, and Marcus Hill puts a body on Terrence Roberson.
Bob, I absolutely love the way Chris Heron plays. It is all out, 100%, nothing held back. Lay it all on the floor. When he charges down that lane with the basketball, it's either going to go up or he's going to find somebody who's open. This guy's a terrific talent.
There's some folks in Honolulu booing you right now, Larry, because they can't stand the guy. But if you're a player like Chris Heron and you go on the road in a good league like the WAC, you're going to be a hated individual by other teams' fans. And he relishes that.
He does indeed. In fact, he almost thrives off of it.
Oh. Well, he fed off it in Honolulu 2 weeks ago. He put on an NBA-style exhibition that night that had Jimmy Dykes and I just with our mouths on the table. I mean, he did everything for this club to get that win.
Well, that's rare for you two to be quiet.
You got that right.
Nice pass inside by Ruffin.
Oh, Marcus Hill. Ruffin can see over everybody, huh?
Tell you what, anytime you got your center out there running the offense and you can pass like that, that's a big weapon.
Walton into the paint. Ruffin boxes out everybody.
What a rebounder this guy is. He's gotten everything down there.
He has 5, so does Tremaine Folks. Fresno State has their 7th man in the game, Demetrius Porter, freshman guard. Local kid out of Fresno. Zach Bennett chases down the miss.
Good hustle by Bennett, a little short on that shot.
We move beyond the halfway point first half. Johnny Gendron on top for Ruffin. Been playing Michael away from the basket a little bit, but not that time. He was putting us all to sleep standing at the high point.
How about Marcus Hill with that distribution down inside? Pretty play. Ruffin was wide open.
Tulsa by 4. Heron flashing. Demetrius Porter. Freshman can't hit. Oh, Terrence Roberson.
Boy, can he get up.
There's a trip. Porter gets the speedy Rod Thompson. Larry, I know that Mike Patrick and Dick Vitale had a lot of fun last week and that Duke Carolina game on the deuce. But so far, in the games I've attended, this is the best first half of basketball I've seen all year.
Watch the athletic play here by Roberson. He gets it up just at the end of Zach Bennett's jump. Just reached up and took it away from him. Big play. I love Roberson. Boy, does he play.
Sean Williams back in for Tulsa. High post Bennett.
Good screen for Hill.
Marcus Hill working hard off the ball. Rebound Demetrius Porter at 5'11". And the Bulldogs with a chance to tie it right here. Folks flushes it. And we're tied for the 5th time.
Once again, a good pass. Good look by Ray for Alston down on that block down there. If you find Folks not close to the basket, Folks, you better get it to him.
Johnny Gendron. Hill again. After the miss, reluctant to shoot. Bennett, tough catch, good patience, draws the foul.
You know, Zach Bennett's one of those players. Very smart, heady play right there. He got Roberson kind of committed in the air. Now watch him make this move. A little pump fake with the ball. Then he goes up as Roberson comes down.
Chris Heron coming back for Fresno shortly. Eric Coley will return for Tulsa. Zach Bennett to the line.
I was going to say Fresno State basically uses 7 guys with all of the departures they've had. Sometimes they'll go down to the 8th man, but their rotation basically is 7.
Zach, a good athlete out of Union High School here in town. He was all-state in track at 6'9". Must have been the long jump.
One of the things I was interested in, look at the statistics this morning, is the fact that he has led this club in steals in 3 games this year. It's pretty good for a guy his size at 6'9", 235, wandering underneath that basket.
Bill Self loves his athletic ability. He can play the 4 or the 5.
Violation?
Yep. And Chris Heron telling Scott Thornley, he's got this hesitation thing. He's got us jumping all over the place.
Got to adjust.
gets them both. John Cornwell checks back in for Tulsa. And Michael Ruffin will get a breather. His second fine time of the first half. It comes with Tulsa up by 2, 30-28. 8:21 before halftime. Rafer Alston up the floor with Tremaine Folks. Walton. Way short. Johnny Gendron after the deflection. And Winfred Walton only one field goal so far. Williams for Gendron. He loves the three. That was his first attempt, a little bit short.
Good strong rebound by Folks in there.
Williams, nice job of staying with a very deceptive Rafer Alston. This kid can really handle the ball. JC at Fresno City last year. He had a high game of 18 assists. Walton almost traveled. Cornwell blocked it. That's going to be Fresno's ball. Tulsa could have picked that ball up, but nobody went after it after John Cornwell deflected. 7:29 remaining first half. It's been wild in T-Town. Home team by 2. Dogs and Hurricane really going at it.
You have the freedom to choose. The choice you make when buying a car or truck is one you'll live with for a long time. Choose a dealership that will stand behind what they tell you and service what they sell you. Riverside Nissan and Riverside Chevy make that commitment every day. Our people in sales and service are the most professional in the industry. As a member of the Riverside family, you'll know you made the right choice, one you'll be glad to live with. That's one reason why Riverside is the best place to buy a car.
Your choice sale, your choice sale. Ernie Miller Pontiac GMC just received 24 new 1998 Sunfire SE Coupes for the Your Choice sale. Take your choice at 24 Sunfire SE Coupes listing at $15,135, but going for $13,500. Drive away stock number 4805 loaded for $13,500, or stock number 4198 for only $13,500. You'll never find a better sale than this. Get your choice today at Ernie Miller Pontiac GMC, 4700 South Memorial.
On the next wonderful world of Disney, his life was in the dumps until she discovered football's newest superstar.
The field goal kicking
garbage man.
It's a public relations gold mine.
Where did he go to college? PU. He went from picking.
I usually respond better to encouragement.
To kicking.
Welcome to football, garbage man.
Turning the NFL upside down. Tony Danza is the garbage-picking, field goal-kicking Philadelphia phenomenon. ABC tonight at 7, 6 Central.
Well, the action on the floor has been clean. I'm not sure we can say the same about the Tulsa Nachos here.
It must be awfully good.
On a Sunday afternoon. You've still got time for ESPN's Full Court. A host of college basketball games, not usually on TV. You can see your favorite conferences, your favorite teams down the stretch. Late season pricing now available. Call your local cable operator or DirecTV at 1-800-GET-SPORTS.
There's Tremaine Folks. What a first half he's having so far. This guy does a little bit of everything, but his strength really mainly, I think, Bob, is on the inside. Great leap.
He can't score. He had a pretty good inbounds play designed for him. He's got 7 points and 6 rebounds already. The three rattles in for Sean Williams. 5 for him.
Not bad for a walk-on.
Wow. He had other scholarship offers. He played at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M up in Miami last year. Wanted to play for TU. Way long. Winfred Walton turns into a pass for him. You know, and sometimes, Larry, when you see that air ball, the defense gets disorganized for a minute because it's such a weird happening, and then they get a foul.
There's the three-point shooting so far in the first half. Fresno State, 3 of 7. Both clubs have thrown in 3 threes so far.
Winfred Walton at the line. Became eligible on December 20th at Minnesota. We saw him on ESPN that night. He had 2 points, 3 boards, and an assist in 12 minutes. Since then, he's dropped 20 pounds, and his scoring average has gone way up. He's averaging 12 a game now.
Transfer from Syracuse. In fact, never played a game at Syracuse.
Never played or practiced for Boeheim.
other people were playing zone. Cornwell had an easy move to the basket and got a block.
And Winfred Walton, the kind of play that Jim Boeheim thought he might see at the Carrier Dome for 3 or 4 years.
Ruffin. Oh, man.
16 for Michael Ruffin in the first half.
Well, that's big for Tulsa because they need that inside scoring, and Ruffin's given it to them this year.
They've always been a good perimeter scoring team, lately with Thompson and Shea Seals. Jerry Tarkanian wants the 20. Sort of unusual to see them use up 19 seconds of their possession before they called the timeout.
Look at that screen. Michael Ruffin went right over the top. In fact, he hung folks up on a screen. Folks just late getting there. Good move by Ruffin. What a great first half he's having.
A dominating first half for the 6'8" junior out of Colorado. Big Monday means big games, presented by Bud Light. And how about this menu tomorrow night? We've got the Qs and Villanova. Number 20 Syracuse, 19-5. At 9:30, Rafe LaFrance is back. The Jayhawks and Colorado. After Sports Center, a monster game in the WAC. Number 11 New Mexico at UNLV. And we found out last week the road in the WAC could be a little bit tough. Just ask Utah about that.
Have you noticed how coaches and players turn a little more surly as February gets deeper?
Yeah, we get happier, and they're just the opposite. They're feeling the pressure, Larry.
Yes, sir.
Herring trying to post up. Thompson, that's not a foul. Now Bill Self says, wait, the shot clock says 0. There can't be an inbounds play. And now Scott Thornley will tell Ed Hightower about it. Sunday scores. Okay, Tulsa gets it back.
It's a violation.
And that's not a problem with the officiating.
No, not at all.
Ed Hightower is on the baseline. He cannot see the shot clock unless he looks to the other end of the floor. He's not going to do that with Chris Herron one-on-one against Rod Thompson.
And no argument from Jerry Tarkanian or his staff.
And then Scott Thornley, the other official, comes forward, and they help each other out. You know, the officials play help defense, too. Thompson, Williams, and Coley.
Fresno State in a man-to-man.
High post Cornwell looking for Ruffin. They double down. Cornwell says, I'll shoot it. Tremaine Fultz.
Look at that pass. Good move.
Herron. Williams got it. Bodies everywhere.
One of the things Tulsa has to know in their scouting report is that they cannot allow Fresno State to get into a running game. In the transition, you've got to be able to get back and shut down Chris Herron. He is so fast at the other end. You see Williams trying to catch up. Sean Williams committing the foul. Herron knows he's going to take this blow.
Herron, I think, I've seen him jawing now at 2 different officials. He's getting a talking to from David Hall now. I think he wanted an intentional foul. Now he and Williams slap, and all is forgiven. And Thompson gets one, too.
At least till the next play.
Yeah, we're friends for now. But, Larry, this is the thing about Chris Herron. He scored 5 points very early. Zach Bennett back for Tulsa. But then when his scoring slows down, he finds other ways to help his team.
That's why he is just so important to his club. I think this guy has a tremendous talent.
Hey, how about his average last year? 31 a game the last 4 WAC games of the season. Now that's getting it done in February and March.
But like you say, he can do so many more things.
35-31 Tulsa. Still a long way to go in this half. Thompson flashing baseline. Tough rebound Roberson.
Good help by Larry Abney on that other side. We've got to travel. It'll go back to Tulsa.
And that's because TU is the kind of team that doesn't give up once they lose that rebound. They still get after you, forcing the turnover.
Watch Thompson catch the ball now. Once it comes in there, here's the back cut. Now watch the offside ball help. Boy, Abney was right there. You saw folks coming back. It's a good defensive team, Fresno State.
Holy for Thompson. Deflected Herron. Wins the race. He'll go to the hole.
Block! No!
Thompson got him from behind.
Oh, I thought he got the ball.
I think he got the arm and the ball. That'll be number 2 on Rod Thompson. But Larry, the way that ball came out almost looked like a clean block.
Yeah, Herron came out of the ball. Now watch this. Yeah, he may have gotten him on the arm. I thought he got a lot of the ball, too.
Watch Heron with his long arms reach out to swat this one away. He looked over his shoulder to make sure he was clear. Well, that was close.
And if the reaction of the Tulsa fans is any indication, Chris Heron is making a lot of friends here this afternoon as well.
Watch this now. From behind, does he get the ball? I think he gets the ball.
Yeah, you're right. Chris Heron, incredibly, is only a 53% free throw shooter. If I'm Chris, I back up a couple of feet and take the jumper.
Just so you're inside that little half circle there.
Exactly. High post Bennett. Straight down, rough it. If he catches it, you're dead.
Well, see, he had Larry Abney blocked out, used his body to kind of shield him, and went straight up off of the window.
Michael Ruffin having one of the great first halves of any player in college basketball this year. 18. He's 6 of 8 from the floor. Heron, NBA 3. Bennett the rebound. Tulsa by 5, 4:35 first half. Coley. Bennett to Hill.
Good movement by Tulsa. They're looking for Ruffin again, and why not?
Zach Bennett from Marcus Hill. A body flies. Ball won't roll in. Ruffin kept it alive for a moment. Jermaine Folks for Rayford Alston. Oh, look at that pass.
And another one. Wow. Good passing by Fresno State.
How many passes on that fast break?
Great handle of the basketball that time by the Bulldogs. They're now within 3.
Now that looked like a fast break with 5 McDonald or Parade All-Americans on it. They've got 7 of them on this team.
Good ball.
Coley for Hill, posting up Ruffin.
That's where they need to go.
Against Abney. Rayford Alston trying to help. Coley, tough catch. Lost it in traffic. Michael Ruffin for Marcus Hill. Zach Bennett. Williams for 3. Kept alive by Coley. Tulsa foul on Ruffin.
Well, Bob, on that possession, Tulsa could not get a shot to go down. They had at least 5, maybe 6 shots at the basket and a couple of good looks.
Well, there has to be a couple of guys sucking air after that one. Michael Ruffin will get the breather, and Jay Spurlock will check back in.
It's interesting. Bill Self has taken him out. That's the 3rd time this half he's given him a blow over there.
Michael Ruffin has 18 of Tulsa's 37 points. At the line, Larry Abney. This guy's an interesting story. Didn't play 2 years ago because of academics. Then he went to junior college at Fresno City last year. And when Jerry Tarkanian took him, he had some coaches tell him, hey, this guy's not a Division I player. I tell you what, he looked D1 in Hawaii 2 weeks ago. 15 points, 11 rebounds. And he's got his first 2 of the day. Tark's team in a real battle at Tulsa. A 1-point game. Michael Ruffin has been unstoppable.
Hi there. You know, America loves Ricoh digital imaging. It's so fast, crisp, reliable, colorful, and we're the official copier and fax of the PGA of America. We're on the ball, from expandable networks to simple solutions. And our copy quality? Incredible. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ricoh and the PGA of America. We're swinging.
I love what I do, and especially now that I can do it at home. You know, I was seeing my kids for about 10 minutes when I got home, and I didn't want to be a 10-minute father. You know, you get a hug, but it's not enough. I use GTE because nobody else could give me internet, wireless, and long distance, and be my local phone company, too. And that's why I think GTE is such a good value. I can choose from one company, whatever I need. No, that's great, sweetheart. Congratulations.
It's from school.
This is Unit 21, Hospital-born basketball game in progress.
Yo, Unit 10 on the way.
What's up, dog? What's up?
What, you having fun now?
The job of the phone police is never done.
Tulsa leading by 1. We want to show you the fast break of Fresno. Fresno State, but in particular, watch Tremaine Folks, number 23. You'll see 3 great passes made on this break. Folks with the outlet. He kicks it to the right side to Austin. Now, Austin's going to take it to the middle of the floor. He's got right and left. He kicks the ball to the left side. Look at Folks, number 23, once again. He's the guy who started it. Look who finishes. Tremaine Folks. That's running the floor, folks.
And Larry Ebney could have received that pass. He was right there, too. Tremaine Folks, 9 points on the day with 8 rebounds. Teams have been running a little bit, but they've both been pretty good in the half court as well. High post, that's Jay Spurlock, the freshman center. Out there with Bennett. Herron got a piece of that pass.
Tulsa needs a confidence basket right now. They struggled with that last possession when they went 0 for 5. They need one right now to kind of get it back again.
Bennett putting it on the floor. That's a charge. He was leaning in, and that's his 3rd.
Pretty good block, too, by Tremaine Folks. If Bennett had not lowered that shoulder, watch it. See, he lowers it right there, and Folks just kind of goes back on his backside.
Zach Bennett has to leave. That's his 3rd foul. He got 2 in the first minute, 50. Zach, 2 points.
I was just watching Chris Herron. He walked by the Tulsa bench and kind of gave Bill Self a little slap on the backside and said, hey, coach, your team's playing pretty well.
I love the personality with which he plays this game. And can he play? There's the kick for Alston. Rayford, the 3, perfect. And that's 8 for him. And now Fresno goes on top. They've been trailing the entire first half. They lead by 2. Steal. Alston anticipated beautifully. Takes it all the way.
They had 18 steals against Tulsa earlier in the year in that meeting at Fresno State. That's a big one right there right now. Boy, this Bulldog club, tough on defense the last 3 minutes.
Bill Self wants at 20 with 2:26 remaining. Steve Levy's in the studio today. Our Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. Steve will take us to the Big East. The Storm and the Pirates of Seton Hall. It's a big weekend at Daytona and some Raptor trouble, some dinosaur trouble in the NBA. Steve Levy at halftime.
Once again, watch the defensive work on the outside. You'll see Austin come up with the ball. I'll tell you the one thing Fresno State does, when they get rolling, not only is their break strong, but their defensive pressure really steps up. It's almost like one feeds off of the other. You're talking about Herron feeding off of crowds. Their offense and defense really almost tied like an umbilical cord.
And Fresno has really quieted down the crowd here. Tulsa, a very good team at home, as mentioned, over the last 3 years. A winning percentage of .825 at the Convention Center Arena. They're going to move into a new building on campus next year, the 8,000-seat Donald Reynolds Center. So they're downtown now, but they'll finally be on campus, and that's something they've been talking about around here since the days of Nolan Richardson.
Bulldogs into a 2-3 zone. Tulsa can make some shots on the outside.
They may need Thompson to do it. Yes!
Good call there, partner.
What a big shot for Tulsa. Rod Thompson with 11. And that puts him back to within 1 final 2 minutes before halftime.
Thompson has stepped up so big this year. He's increased his point per game average. He only averaged 10 coming in. He's up to 15 coming into this game.
Well, he's really a 2-guard. That's Ruffin. He got the deflection off Whitford Walton.
Big defensive play that time by Tulsa.
Now Rod Thompson will handle the ball after breaking that Tulsa drought. They did score their most recent shot. 2 for 11, though, over 6 minutes. But as mentioned, Rod's really a 2-guard. He just had to play the point here because they didn't have anybody to handle the ball for a while. The miss by Williams. Spurlock couldn't get it. Alley-oop. Tremaine Folks, he was going backwards. And he still almost got it in.
How about an alley-oop all the way from midcourt
to a guy running backwards? Thompson. He's going to get the charge. The block. And it looks like Chris Herron.
I think Herron might have gotten him from the backside. Tell you the one thing about Herron, he has a running commentary throughout the whole game. Look at this lob pass. It's actually beyond midcourt. Folks are trying to catch it and throw it back in. With him, he's actually facing away from the basket.
Thompson, a dozen. Rod's had some good games, Larry, against good guards this year. We saw him get 25 against Teron Liu of Nebraska on this court. He got 13 and 3 assists against A.J. Carter of Hawaii and 19 and 5 assists against Fresno State first time around, playing belly up with Rafer Alston. So he likes playing against the good guards in this league and other leagues as well. 41 all, 110 remaining. What a first half.
Been very entertaining. Both of these clubs very tough. Good on defense, and obviously they've got some very athletic players.
Each team has had a little lull. Walton for 3. Big fella can't hit it. Tremaine Folks kept it alive. Coley saves it for Sean Williams. He will speed it ahead to Ruffin. Turning, kicked it. Tulsa gets the loose ball. Tipped, Spurlock. The freshman couldn't do it. 4, 5 on 2. Coley steals. He's got a man down court. Thompson, he's got Ruffin. Can't get it to him. He finds Coley, though. He put Heron on the floor with that move.
What a great move by Ron Thompson. Wow. I have never seen so much action in one particular play up and down the floor, and nothing happened.
He had Chris Heron kneeling on that one. And the crowd is in it. Final 10 seconds. Heron looking to tie. Ruffin rejects. Folks got it away. Short. Michael Ruffin, 18 points, 8 rebounds. Having a monster day, and they love it here. After 20 minutes of play, it's Tulsa 43 and Fresno State 41. Bill Self watching a great first half. And Steve Levy, they call it the wacky whack at this time of the year. But today here in T-Town, we've seen exciting, good, fundamental basketball. It's been something.
All right, Bob and Larry, that's true. What a terrific first half. We hope for much more coming up in the second half. Fresno a win away from at least clinching a spot in the WAC tournament. They trail by 2. Fresno State does to Tulsa at the break. Coming up on the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report, we'll update the Daytona 500 in the final 20 laps, and guess who's leading? And Felipe Lopez in the Red Storm on a road roll. We'll update that as well.
This is for my grandfather, who always said I'd make the family proud. For my mom, who never let me out the door without my homework. For my dad, who worked the night shift to make our lives better. For myself, for my future.
Can you come home?
I'm in the middle of nowhere.
It took weeks for news to reach its destination. Today, neither time nor distance can keep us from sharing our lives.
Breathe, honey. Hey, you get another contraction?
Suppose you can count.
5, 6, 7.
Philips introduces ISIS, the cellular phone that can let you talk up to 6 long hours.
I love you, honey. Honey?
ISIS from Philips.
Hiya, folks. Steve Levy back at our Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. Tulsa over Fresno State, 43-41. Again, Tulsa with a win would clinch a spot in the WAC tournament. Elsewhere in college basketball, St. John's on a bit of a roll. They're a game behind UConn for first place in the Big East, and they'll play each other on the final day of the regular season. They've won 8 of their last 9 coming in and have won 4 straight on the road, which is where they were this afternoon, on the road in New Jersey. Taking on Seton Hall. Shaheen Holloway on the drive through the lane. Pretty floater. Holloway was strong throughout this basketball game. Felipe Lopez down at the other end, canning the 3 with 6 minutes left there. Tariq Turner on the drive off the smacked ball and goes glass as we come down to the final few minutes of that game. told you Holloway strong down the stretch. Here he was. The drive, contact there, but it was as close as they could get. St. John's able to hang on, and they win 64-60 in this one. Again, they've won 5 straight on the road now, have the Johnnies, and after a very tough start, St. John's looking good. Their 19th victory of the season. More Big East action for you. It comes your way tomorrow night. It's our Big Monday triple header starting at 7:30. Syracuse goes up to Nova in search of their 20th win of the season. Then it's number 3, Kansas, going to the Coors Center. They'll take on the Buffaloes with 1-6 of 8. The nightcap feature New Mexico, ranked number 11 in the country, up against UNLV. That's midnight Eastern. Big Monday tomorrow night for you. Always a big Monday here on ESPN. Fordham and St. Joe's. Here we go to the 8-10. Robert Haskins leading St. Joe's early on. Frank Wilkins to Haskins for the dunk. St. Joe's was up 1 early. Fordham would hang tough, though. Jason Harris, the pass to Scott Harmatuck for the 3. And that put Fordham up 2. More from the Rams. Maurice Curtis, a little spin, the hoop and the foul. After the free throw, Fordham was back up 1. And here's Haskins again from way out connecting. And updating that score, they've gone to halftime, and St. Joe's is the 41-32 lead over Fordham. Fordham has lost 13 of their last 14. After winning the A-10 championship, St. Joe's just 1-10 in the conference, looking to improve on that today. There's more A-10 basketball for you coming up on Tuesday over on ESPN2. The nightcap has Temple still trying to secure that NCAA tournament berth. They'll host last year's A-10 champs, St. Joe's, at the new Apollo. Of course, the first game is back in the Big East, number 6, last year's Big East Player of the Year. Pat Garrity will take on the favorite for this year's number 6, UConn. That's Richard Hamilton. College basketball news for you. Yesterday was Valentine's Day, not a sweetheart of the day for Western Kentucky head basketball coach Matt Kilcullen. He was fired with just 4 games left in the season. The Hilltoppers 7-16 on the campaign. In 4 years, Kilcullen had compiled a 59-39 record. His first season, his best season, when they went 27-4. They were ranked 21st, beat Michigan in the NCAA tournament before losing to the top-seeded Kansas in the next round. Well, the big story of the day, of course, is the race that's going on at Daytona Beach. Dale Earnhardt, 30 wins at Daytona, but he's never been able to win the big one, the Daytona 500. And here you go, up to the second. With 13 laps to go, Dale Earnhardt is out in front. He had led after 53 laps, lost the lead, but again, when it counts, as of this second, with 13 laps to go, Dale Earnhardt is your leader. We will keep you posted. And, of course, complete coverage. Kenny Mayne is at Daytona Beach, and he will have it covered for you on SportsCenter, which comes up at 7:30 Eastern. Linda Cohn, Bob Stevens on that, the NBA, and, of course, the latest from Nagano as well. We roll on. Marriott halftime report right after this.
This halftime report is presented by Courtyard by Marriott, a hotel designed by business travelers.
Oh, Canada, my native home, my own roads long and free, from far and wide, may they stand on guard.
I need the words.
AutoBuyTel.com. Hey Cleo, we're on the internet. I'm gonna buy the car I want.
Low-cost car buying. Fast, easy, and painless at AutoBuyTel.
Whoa. Hello? Your car is ready. And you did it all online. Even the financing.
Cool.
AutoBuyTel. Low-cost car buying from the comfort of your own pajamas.
Bet you Bud Light, my friend here can beat you.
Yeah, right. Okay, pal, you're on.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
This would be
mine.
Make it a Bud Light.
Bud Light says my friend here can beat you.
Circuit City has 3 great reasons why now is the best time to buy a digital satellite system. Right now, you'll get a free self-install kit or professional installation for only $99 with any DSS purchase. You'll also get a second receiver for only $99. We'll even give you an off-air antenna so you can still enjoy all your local programming for free. You'll get more movies, sports, and pay-per-view with DSS and all the right reasons to buy right now at Circuit City. You can't get a lower price. We guarantee it.
It's Tulsa by 2 over Fresno State at the break. Steve Levy back with you on our Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. Other basketball news concerning the NBA. Remember Friday's massive trade between the Raptors and the Portland Trailblazers, a 6-player swap that included Damon Stoudemire for Kenny Anderson. Well, it's hit a stop sign for now, or at least a pause sign. The 2 other players the Timberwolves acquired, Gary Trent and Alvin Williams, unable to have their physicals completed in time for this afternoon's Toronto game. So what that means, as a result, the Blazers probably won't be able to use their 3 new players. They host Denver later on tonight. But first to the afternoon game from Toronto, and here we go. The Raptors in action against the Miami Heat. And they're still awaiting the arrival of Kenny Anderson. Evidently, his physical was okay. It was the other 2 players. First quarter, Doug Christie jumper, able to connect. Miami could answer. Bashan Leonard, the baseline move, put the Heat up by 6. Later on in the quarter, Sean Resper. From way out, good first step there. Through the entire defense, gets the floater to go high off the glass. And the new coach, Butch Carter, the assistant, has taken over. Enjoyed that. Heat by 2. Tim Hardaway drains the 3. Heat by 5. It was a 6-point game at the break. Second half, Miami was put it away. Hardaway to Leonard for 3, 77-61 Heat. Alonzo Mourning open underneath. Tough to defense that. The Heat lead by 16. More from Zoe. How about a baby hook in the arsenal? 98-75. At that point, Miami goes on to win by a score of 116-95. Tim Hardaway at 13, only 1 point though in the second half. Doug Christie at 17 points, none in the fourth quarter when the Raptors really needed him. Zoe finishes with 31. Miami using a 21-7 run in the middle of the third to put this game out of reach. The Hawaiian Open final round action going on today. Jacques Houston came in as your leader, and he's adding to that. He had the 54-hole Hawaiian Open record. If he goes 2 under on the day, he'd set the tournament record. As of now, he is just 1 under on the day, and there you see a tight leaderboard. Once again, the baseball world and the broadcasting community today is thinking about legendary Chicago Cubs broadcaster Harry Carey. Harry is listed in critical but stable condition at a hospital after collapsing during a Valentine's Day dinner last night with his wife. Harry Carey is 78, and we're all concerned about his well-being, and we'll keep you posted on that as well. College basketball continuing here on ESPN. Rafer Alston, he's leading Fresno State with 10 points. They trail Tulsa by 2 at the break.
Shopping for a new or used vehicle? Know before you go. Call the Credit Resources Center at Larry Miller's Broken Arrow Chevrolet at 1-888-259-9393 and let them pre-approve your credit. In less than 24 hours, you'll know you're qualified. Credit problems in the past? Don't let that stop you. Ask the Credit Resources Center at Larry Miller's Broken Arrow Chevy to pre-qualify you for your next vehicle. Call them today at 1-888-259-9393. It's the real deal.
Trust is the foundation of any family. Over the last 12 years, a feeling of trust has developed between the management and employees of Riverside Chevrolet, Riverside Nissan, and our customers. A feeling of family. They trust us to offer the best selection of new and used vehicles at the best price. Our customers trust us to sell them a car or truck without high-pressure tactics. Trust. Another reason why Riverside's the best place to buy a car.
More on the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. I want to tell you tonight over on the Deuce, it's UNC Charlotte. They lead Conference USA, trying to win their first regular season title. They can help themselves by beating Louisville tonight. Immediately following that game on the Deuce, it's Dave Feldman and Quinn Buckner. College hoops tonight, coming up after basketball over on the Deuce. Second half from Tulsa.
Are we on?
Need a smile?
Hi, Domino's.
Right now, get a medium pizza with all your favorite toppings for only $8.99. Domino's, delivering 1 million smiles a day.
Has he noticed a change? I can't stop thinking about it. What's going on? Talk to me.
For James Kramer and financial news that will leave you hopelessly obsessed, hit thestreet.com.
Kramer, you bad boy.
This is totally easy.
We raise our trophies high. We apply science to the issues we face, and we embrace the moment of a lifetime. But at Colorado State, we don't measure our success by championships won, degrees offered, or scientific frontiers explored. By helping students comprehend their humanity, we create the makings of a better world. At Colorado State, our students find ways to make a difference. The difference they make is our measure of success.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by the new Dodge Intrepid. We're changing everything again.
Well, how will the next 20 minutes be compared to the first 20 here in Tulsa? Bob Carpenter, Larry Conley back at the Convention Center Arena. We've seen two guys dominate most of the Tulsa scoring, those inside-outside guys you talked about, but much more balance on the part of Fresno State, Larry, and that's something that could be huge in the second half today.
Bobby, you're right, and the thing about it is it's been like this all year long for the Bulldogs. They've had good balanced scoring. We'll take a look at some of the first half highlights here. Rafer Austin, young man who he actually had 10 in the first half to lead the Bulldogs in scoring, getting one from the outside. Tremaine Folks got it done not only inside, but he also got it done on the backboard. He had 9 rebounds and 9 points. Here's 2 of his points on a nice dunk on a nice pass. Then the other guy, Terrence Roberson, also had 9 points. He also was able to get in some very difficult shots. Now on the other side, obviously, as we take a look, here's the balance scoring we were talking about for Fresno State. You can see the numbers all the way down the line. They've got 7 guys averaging in double figures for the season. Some of those guys no longer with the club because they are not playing on suspension. Now, for Tulsa, on the other end, Michael Ruffin, the guy who has gotten it done in the first half, had 18 points on 6 of 8 shooting, and that's one of his high percentage shots right there. Michael Ruffin getting it done along with Rod Thompson, the outside threat.
Ruffin averaging 6 rebounds, couple of blocks. Jermaine Folks adding 9 rebounds to his total. So the much anticipated board battle has certainly been up to snuff so far. A couple of teams, as mentioned earlier, battling for second place in the Pacific Division of the WAC. TCU an amazing 11-0. Fresno at 7-2. Tulsa at 6-3. The Dogs will control it as the second half starts. Rebounding averages for the season transposed onto today's totals. Not many turnovers in the game. Only 6 by the visitors, 5 by the home team. Terrence Roberson leans in and scores, and that's double figures for him.
It was relatively an error-free first half with 11 total turnovers. That was outstanding play for 2 clubs that were really going up and down the floor.
Yeah, you're reading my mind, Larry. I was thinking about the pace. How could they only have 11 turnovers between them?
Excellent ball handling. You're into February. You're supposed to be able to handle the basketball that well, and both of these teams have done that so far in the first 20 minutes.
That's Coley on the perimeter, waiting for someone to flash. Williams for Bennett. Zach into the paint, looking to turn to the right side. Ruffin grabs it and gets the foul. He draws fouls, getting offensive rebounds. And that's on Whitford Walton, his second.
Well, Bob, once again, you can see the results of Fresno State's defense right there. They would not allow that ball to come in traditionally. They usually like to front the post man and make you lob. He's having to play behind the post man right now to reduce the number of fouls.
Williams the entry for Ruffin. Can they stop him? He went leaning in and traveled on the way.
And once Once again, Tulsa went back to the inside. In that possession, they went to Bennett, drew a foul. That time they went to Ruffin, and they got a turnover. Watch it again. You'll see right here. Now watch Ruffin get the ball. Now he's going to walk with it. Good call by the official. But once again, Tulsa trying to get back inside in the paint.
Zach Bennett blocks Tremaine Folks from behind. Then the ball hits Folks on the way out.
Watch Bennett. Good defensive work. Well, Folks is quick, but Bennett with a nice play right off of the old knocking of Tremaine Folks.
A variation on in your face, huh?
Off your head.
Bennett high post. Williams, nobody picked him up. Heron got there late. Sean Williams is picking his spots. The little point guard, 5'10", out of Broken Arrow. Played for John Phillips, one of Bill Self's assistants there. And he's got 8 points with a couple of threes today.
Tulsa in a man-to-man. Thompson's got Heron.
Winfred Walton right at Ruffin. How about that? He says, come on, big guy.
Well, they kind of used that left arm to shield Ruffin away from the ball and his body.
Tulsa shooting very early and from way out in that possession. Transition. Folks catch and the jam. And Tremaine with the 11.
Got to really credit Rafer Alston with being able to look up the floor and find people open. I love the way Fresno State runs their break. They move the ball with the pass, not with the dribble. Always looking for a friendly teammate up ahead.
Ruffin backs in. Did he travel?
He walked again, yeah.
David Hall got him.
Took a little bit of a hop. Winfred Walton tried to take a flop and draw a charge, and you'll see what happens right here. Well, actually, that was Folks that goes down, and then after he goes down, Ruffin travels again, a little hot.
Terrence Roberson for 3. Michael Ruffin runs for this rebound, and he gives it up to Roberson. Couldn't find anybody close to him. Heron for 3, and that's a big turnaround for Fresno State. 3 guys hit baskets early in the half. Speaking of balance, Larry, and now all 3 have 11 points. Roberson, Heron, and Folks.
Heron with a long-range jump shot. I mean, where is his range?
I think we'll find out at the next level. Holding for Thompson. Ruffin posting up, double help. He'll do the fadeaway. Folks got the rebound with Ruffin just kind of chipping away from behind. Heron switches. Walton. Thompson from behind knocks it away. 4 on 3. Alley-oop. Nice catch by Zach Bennett.
What a nice pass that was inside by Sean Williams. He laid it right in the corner.
50-48 Fresno State.
Williams has to guard Alston, doing a nice job keeping him in the bay, keep him away from that basket. Alston awfully tough on the penetration. So is that guy.
Folks, he runs into a couple of Hurricane players, Ruffin and Bennett. They stood straight up and knocked the ball away.
Folks had nowhere to go in there, and he had 2 big bodies in there.
Shot clock at 12 as they throw it in. Did we mention that today?
First time.
Roberson. Shot clock at 3. Heron checks the clock. Can't drill the shot. Zach Bennett boxes out Walton very well. Billy Self says, push it. Rod Thompson. He's been there outside today, and there's their inside. Ruffin backing in, waiting. He got Winfred Walton off the floor.
They're going to say he was going up, too.
Walton with his 3rd.
The strategy of Tulsa, Bill Self's club, wants to go back inside. I'm not sure Ruffin didn't walk right there on that spin move. He obviously got his money's worth. Winfred Walton did when he came down on Ruffin, but in every possession so far in the second half, almost every time they've gone to Ruffin down in the paint.
Winfred Walton picks up 2 quickies here in the second half. Now, Jerry Tarkanian was getting ready to check in Larry Abney, but he's called him back for a conference. Ruffin line drives it home, and that's 19 for Michael.
That's about the straightest free throw I think I've seen this year. Having some success with it, though. 7 out of 8. 68% for the year. Now he's 8 out of 9.
He's got 20. 4:07 out of halftime. Heron getting it done from outside. Ruffin keeps doing it inside for the home team. And Zach Bennett helps, too.
It is a symbol that stands for freedom. strength, for passion. It is a symbol grounded in the belief that for ideas to take flight, they must have wings. It is an enduring reminder that while all cars appeal to our practical side, the great ones appeal to our more passionate side. It is the symbol for great cars. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
Dilbert for Office Depot.
I've decided to abandon logic and manage by cliches. It won't be easy, but I'll take it one bird at a time. And remember, the customer is always right-handed.
This is actually an improvement. Here's a real improvement. Office Depot's best catalog ever. Easier to use, easier to read, more products. Call today for your copy and start getting fast, free delivery, guaranteed low prices. Business is crazy, but Office Depot makes sense.
Plenty to cheer about in Tulsa today. Terrific ball game. We're tied in this one for the 8th time today. How about the Deuce on Tuesday night? We'll start you out in the Big East with number 6 UConn against Notre Dame. And Pat Garrity, 22 points a game for the Irish. And then we go St. Joe's and Temple in the A-10. Owls have won their last 4. They squeaked by number 24 Rhode Island yesterday. 68-67. Nothing but net Tuesday on the Deuce.
Good crosstown rivalry, St. Joe and Temple. They're in Philadelphia.
Well, they've got some
turnover story here.
They've got some rivals in those Big 5 matchups. Bob Carpenter, Larry Conley. It's been exciting from Oklahoma today. High post, Roberson for Walton, back cut Heron. The pass didn't lead him, and that gave Ron Thompson a chance to catch it. And is that another one on Whitford Walton?
Watch this play now. Look, Heron's just standing there, and now all of a sudden, boom, he's gone. Boy, that was a good defensive play, too, by Ron Thompson to just turn around and grab it. Heron was trying to deke him a little bit by standing still, and Thompson would have nothing to do with it.
Don't worry, Bulldog fans. It was not on Winford Walton. It was foul number 1 on Rafer Alston. Tulsa will throw it in. Trigger man, Sean Williams. Bennett posting up close. Swings for Coley. Thompson works off the pick. Squares up. Can't drill the 3. Rafer Alston the rebound. Roberson. He'll shoot the 3 if you don't get at him. Winford Walton, little dipsy-do underneath.
That little float to the other side and off the window.
Well, he couldn't do that when he was 260 pounds, but he can do it now at 238.
Fresno State trying to extend their man-to-man defense. Nice pass inside.
Ruffin lost it. Who's going to grab it? Dogs have 3 men down the floor. Alston for Heron. He finishes. Chris Heron with 13. Fresno by 4.
Came out of that break. It was tied 50-50, and the Bulldogs jump out quickly with a couple of baskets.
They are so explosive.
Love to watch them run their break. Good balance. They fill those lanes well.
Coley for Thompson. Heron watches him. They'll reset the offense with 12 on the shot clock. Rod Thompson after Heron, high off the glass.
Once again, a good move by Rod Thompson. He's taken Heron in there a couple of times and schooled him.
Yeah, he created that one, Larry. 16. That was his first basket, by the way, of the second half. It took almost 6 minutes. He's 6 of 9 today.
Big 14 points in the first half.
Look at Heron shaking big. Walton in the corner. Roberson for 3. He likes that spot. Folks on the long rebound. A late whistle. It looks like Zach Bennett with his 4th. I think for a moment Ed Hightower was trying to decide, was it Bennett or Ruffin?
He doesn't have much time to think, though. That whistle's either got to be blown or play's got to continue. Bill Self looking on, seeing his player pick up his 4th foul as Folks goes back inside on a good, strong rebound. Had Ruffin and Bennett both there. I thought Ruffin got the ball. Bennett obviously got the foul.
Zach Bennett only played 9 minutes in the first half because of his fouls, but he did have 5 rebounds. He's still in there right now. Jermaine Folks. And if this team hits free throws, they can really be tough. Now John Cornwell will get Zach Bennett out of there.
Cornwell's been playing pretty well of late, averaging about 8 a game in his last 6.
Yes, sir, with 3 rebounds every time out. Sophomore out of Bixby, Oklahoma, just south of town here. Working with a lot of local kids in this program.
High school basketball traditionally, Bob, has been pretty good in the Tulsa area.
You know, we've had Wayman Tisdale out of here. My favorite, though, is a guy who was once All-City, averaging 9 points a game. Billy Tubbs. Billy told me he was All-City, and then he said, but of course there were only 3 high schools. But there is a good basketball tradition around here. Shea Seals. Second foul on Rafer Alston. Eric Coley. Bill Self's got a good recruiting class coming in here, too. Way short.
An interesting story about Coley. How about his interest in rodeo and calf roping?
He
breaks wild horses.
He's from Eufaula, Oklahoma. Very well-known congressman by the name of J.C. Watts, who ran the wishbone pretty well for Barry Switzer from Eufaula.
He's been calf roping up in Washington, D.C.
I think he's going to have a tougher job up there.
Yeah.
Tarkanian wants a 20. That's the second time they brought the ball down, run a little offense, and then Tark took the short timeout. It'll come with 13:40 remaining. Women's hoops tomorrow. You know, it's President's Day. We celebrate every year with a great women's college basketball matchup. How about number 1 Tennessee, 28-0. They take on number 13 Vanderbilt, 18-5. And the Lady Vols on track to repeat their national championship title. Shamika Holtzclaw had a career-high 39 yesterday when they beat Auburn 79-63. Make a note of it, folks. If you love women's hoops tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 Pacific on ESPN.
I think that 16-point win by the Tennessee Vols women's team is the closest anybody's gotten to them this year.
They are really good.
Yeah, very, very good.
13:40 remaining in Tulsa. Home team down by 3. Rod Thompson watching Rafer Alston. Coley gets the Chris Herron assignment. Away from the ball. Marcus Hill grabbing. As down on the play went Terrence Roberson.
Watch the battle in the post area right here. You can see Hill with both hands in the middle of the back. Then he just grabs him and pulls him down. Thought that was a good call by the official.
You know, he had everything but the rope on that one, Larry. Number 2 on Eric Coley, just as you mentioned, his calf roping and rodeo prowess. And working with those horses down there in Eufaula.
Yeah, most of the ones he's roping and pulling down have got 4 legs. These have 2 legs.
A little taller.
Tarkanian over there in that familiar pose with his arms on his head or chewing the towel, either one.
Herron steps around Coley.
Nice pass out.
Finds Walton. Winfrey way long with the 3. Coley boxes out with the ball deflected off his leg on the way down. Marcus Hill the steal. 2-on-2. He dribbles through everybody.
How did he get that shot off? I thought Herron was going to pick his pocket and he got it around him.
Well, it looked like he kept looking for a passing lane and he never could make the pass. Tulsa back to within 1. Crowd comes to its feet. Herron dancing into the lane, draws the foul, and that's what he can do to you. Foul on Eric Coley, his 3rd.
Chris Herron's ability to do 2 things. 1, to shoot the long-range jump shot, and secondly, to put it on the floor and get into that paint area makes him such a dangerous backcourt player. You've got to respect both positions, his ability to put it down and his ability to launch.
Those are some eyes of intensity right there. Wait 1 game at BC in '95 before he hurt his wrist. Sat out, had a great sophomore year for Tark last year, 18 a game, made the all-WAC team. We mentioned his unbelievable production down the stretch, 31 a game. He gives us all he has, says Tark. Wow. I mentioned he's only a 53% free throw shooter, but usually Chris at least draws iron.
You know, that's hard to believe for a guy to only be shooting 53% when he shoots 48% overall and almost 39% from beyond the three-point line.
He's 6 of 8 today.
He was even smiling at himself then.
That won't bother him. for Thompson. Cornwell a high pick. They were looking for Coley on the back door. Cornwell a long-range shot. John Cornwell had taken 11 three-pointers this year and hit 4 of them. So the big fella at 6'9" has that kind of range.
Staggered screen for Heron, couldn't get it, so he floats through the paint.
Roberson pulls up, short, tipped. Cornwell, Ruffin gets it. You can keep it alive long enough, Michael Ruffin will get the rebound.
A great long extension with his arms. Very powerful upper body.
His hands are something. Coley had the 3 for a moment. Taken away. Alston. Heron the trailer. He'll seal off Thompson.
Well, Alston did that in the first half. He had a nice steal on a pass that was coming across court. That time he took it away from the dribbler. Good play. Coley never had a chance.
Johnny Gender into the scoring table. He only took 1 shot in the first half. Hill for Ruffin. Working on Abney. Underneath. Folks help defense. Take your pick. A shooting foul. It'll be on Larry Abney, his 3rd.
Tulsa continues to push the ball down low in the blocks in there. You'll see Michael Ruffin, who's basically an inside player. He positions himself well in there, calling for the ball, and when he gets it, pretty tough to take it away from him. You've either got to allow him to shoot or you foul him.
The lowest trajectory good free throw I've seen this year.
You know, he used to shoot free throws like that. Jerry West.
Yeah?
West used to shoot line drive free throws like that. And I think a lot of people would who follow basketball might think he was a pretty good guard.
Not bad. As great as Jerry West is in the front office, he'll never be as good as he was as a player. Michael Ruffin, pretty good today. 22 points for him. We've been up and down the convention center floor all day long. Sometimes guys do it all themselves.
Hey, Bud Light, can I have one? Not that one. Man, that's the first one. I love the first one. Okay, then I'll have this one. Not that one, that's the center. Everything revolves around the center. Okay, I'll have this. No, not that one, man. That's the rear. It's the last one.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
No, here. Mine.
It is 180 degrees from expected. It is a leather-trimmed interior. And now, it ties as J.D. Power and Associates' most appealing minivan. The new Chrysler Town & Country LXI. Built on the belief that great cars appeal to a more passionate side. And now, it's available with $1,000 cash back or a very special low lease rate. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
This is Unit 21, Possible Boy basketball game in progress.
Yo, Unit 10 on the way.
What's up, dog?
What's up? What, you having fun now?
The job of the fun police is never done.
11:27 to go. This stage of the season, you've always had interesting games. How about Tulsa's first game of February? Speaking of Billy Tubbs at TCU. And how about Rod Thompson, Larry Conley?
Thompson goes up long range, ties it at 93. Look at the reaction of the Tulsa bench.
But that wasn't all, because they would go to overtime and watch this one.
Thompson again. We go to 100.
And then Tulsa loses, and watch how heartbreaking this is.
Tip away, and one right at the basket. Oh, what a tough break.
Billy Tubbs, TCU Horned Frogs, 22-4, 11-0 in the Pacific Division of the WAC. And right there's why this game is so important today, because it's second place. And in this tournament, seeding is just about everything. And Larry, in the WAC, you're not automatically in the tournament by being in the league. You've got to play your way in.
Exactly. You've got the bottom 2 teams in each division will not make the tournament. So obviously, clubs still battling to try to get in the tournament. Even more importantly for the clubs at the top, they need to win to make sure they don't have to play that first day.
I think when you open your paper tomorrow, TCU, you might see them in that top 25 finally. They got a bunch of votes this week. They were around 27th in the latest voting. Alston can't hit it. John Cornwell, the Tulsa rebound. We're running down to the 10:55 mark.
TCU's got a great inside player, Lee Nayland. Reminds me of Willis Reed a little bit. For those of you out there old enough to remember him. Little turnaround left-handed, about 6'9", 240.
Johnny Gendron in there for his three-point shooting. This time he penetrates, hangs, dumps it for Marcus Hill, and he drills the three.
Good job by Marcus Hill. This guy missed those 3 games because of arthroscopic knee surgery. He's not showing any ill effects of it right now. And now Tulsa goes to a 1-3-1 zone.
Home team back on top. 22nd timeout by Tark. He wants to make the adjustment here, Larry, to that defense you mentioned.
So now what will Bill Self do? Will he come back out with a different defense?
Timeout comes with 10:19 remaining, and Tulsa back on top with the 3 by Marcus Hill. 2 super games on a Super Tuesday. A Big Ten battle. Number 19, Michigan. A few bumps on the road lately for the Wolverines, and they've got a toughie against Michigan State, one of the most heated rivalries in the Big Ten. Larry Conley goes to Starkville for Tennessee and Mississippi State. Conley's arrival in town, the big news of secondary importance. Tennessee 16-6, Mississippi State 14-11. You'll have a great time.
You are so kind. Watch again the Tulsa offense. The good drop down, no shot, kick it back out. You got an easy one right here. Marcus Hill draining the 3.
I enjoy you and Brad Nessler on our SEC coverage. You guys do a great job.
Yes, and I have a lot of fun on those Tuesday nights.
They're giving the air ball treatment to Chris Sarin every time he touches it.
See, Tulsa changed their defense. They went away from that zone, went to a man-to-man.
Yeah, they're trying to trap all over the place. Herron kicks it. Gendron gets it. So does Thompson. Marcus Hill.
2 great defensive plays that time by Tulsa. I mean, great plays. Gendron with a pickup on one end, and then Thompson throwing it to the other end.
The 3, and then the steal. A 5-0 Tulsa run. Remember, they used a 3 and some defense for a 10-0 run in the first half. But Rayford Alston answers. 15 for the junior out of Queens. He's really a nice player.
Got a reputation playing on the playgrounds of New York. To the skip to Malou. He used to dribble the basketball and skip with it. He can also shoot it.
Yeah, he makes some music when he brings it up. Marcus Hill looking for somebody. It's Thompson. Shot clock to 10. High pick, rough it. Thompson for 3. Well short. That ball was so low, Ruffin or Cornwell couldn't reach it. Roberson for 3. Cornwell lets it go for Thompson. 1-on-2. That's a good decision. Gendron penetrates. Hangs. Scores!
The key word there was hang. He hung long enough to get his sights right, and then he got it up and in because he had no one to pass to.
When he came into the game a few minutes ago, I heard Bill Self tell him, go to work, Johnny. He got an assist. He gets the basket there. We're right next to the benches here. Walton misses. Ruffin paws it down. 64-62 Tulsa.
Push.
Gendron. He's got a 3. I think Johnny's gone to work.
Boy, what a bench player. He came off of there. Bill Self gave him instructions. He did exactly what he wanted to do. 2 baskets and an assist.
He's a former starter, so he knows what to do in the second half. Tulsa by 5. But every time, Fresno has had the answer. Who will it be this time? They've been so unselfish. Rayford Alston is the man.
You were talking about the answer for the Bulldogs. Well, these last 2 possessions, it's been Rayford Alston. He trained that 3 to quiet this crowd. Tulsa gets a 3 on the other end, and what happens? Alston comes right back again.
Demetrius Porter back in for a little guard breather. Looks like Herron has gone to the bench for Fresno. That was Rod Thompson with his third on that play. Rayford knocks it down. 18 for him, 8 of those since halftime. 7:55 remaining. They're trading punches here. Johnny Gendron outside the arc, drilling the three, and Rayford Alston at the other end.
Hey, no, down here. Instead of running out for stamps, shouldn't you be running your business? Imagine a simpler way. Get the personal post office from Pitney Bowes. Send mail without ever going out for stamps. Just weigh, punch in the postage, and voila. Professionally metered mail and no wasted postage. You can also add a personal message to get your mail noticed. And postage refills by phone in 30 seconds, day or night. Now listen up, because here's what you'll get. Besides a lot more time.
You'll get the personal post office and money-saving electronic scale.
So there's no wasted postage.
For a 90-day free trial.
Free is good.
You'll also get the Mail Marketer software.
Create really nifty direct mail to help your business grow.
Call now for your 90-day free trial, and you'll also get our Mail Marketer software absolutely free.
Now watch your business grow. Hey, I look good in red.
Call now and get all this for a 90-day free trial.
The personal post office. Mailing made simple.
Hi, my name is Rick, but everybody calls me The Rick. These are my sports figurines. You know, a lot of people call these dolls. They're not dolls. They're sports figurines. And I just want to get that straight. Okay, they're not toys, and they're not dolls. They're figurines. Hey, Curtis. That's Curtis Martin. Patriots.
Watch again this great play as you see Tulsa leading by 2. This was the hustle play right here. Now Thompson misses it. Now it's slapped away. Watch this pickup in the throw. Thompson's over on the sidelines. He turns and throws it to the other end, and Marcus Hill finishes it. Boy, that was a great effort on both ends.
This is knowing where your teammates are.
Yeah, Thompson with a good save right there. Marcus Hill with the finish.
But at the other end of the floor, a guy named Rayford is keeping Fresno in this game. Not too many times today have they leaned on one guy to get it done over an extended period of time. Rayford Alston's been great lately.
Yeah, Fresno State really has had everybody contributing today. The good balance.
Well, Chris Herron's had his breather. Johnny Gendron walked. Thought about the three. He says, Ed Hightower, I put it on the floor. Johnny Gendron's an interesting guy, former professional baseball player in the Pirates organization out of Bishop Kelly High School here in town. Arm troubles ended his baseball career. He's a little older than some of the guys, but he's an outstanding role player for Bill Self.
Well, he got married this past summer.
Desiree, his lady.
Yes.
Sweet girl, and she's here today.
Tulsa's back into that zone defense. Looks like a matchup 2-3.
Alston for 3. Oh, look at Rayford.
Has he jumped up big here for the Bulldogs? I mean, when Tulsa's made this run, Rayford Alston's been the guy that's been doing it for the last 3 minutes.
Fresno back on top. Rayford Alston with his 3rd foul, all in his half. He has 21 points on the day, 11 of those in the 12 or so minutes we've been out of halftime. Who needs depth, right? Well, you got players like that.
This guy has been terrific today.
Gendron, high lob, Bluffing. Boy, that was not an easy catch.
Well, Bob, that time Folks was able to front, but nobody helped against Ruffin on the backside. I think he was expected to see Walton there, and Walton was gone.
Good decision by Johnny Gendron there. Michael Ruffin, 24 points on the day. Double-figure rebounding as well. Herron for Winfred Walton. Short. Coley the rebound. That was Demetrius Porter trying to steal it. Gendron. Running. Fultz for Herron. Back to the middle. That's a blocking foul. That might be Rod Thompson's 4th. Rod Thompson right out of there now, Larry.
Yeah, look at that move. I'll tell you, Herron was very smart to get that ball right back to Fultz as he was coming down through there because the alley was open.
Bill Self can't believe it's a shooting foul.
he might have a legitimate complaint there. I know Folks was just in the process of catching the basketball.
Tremaine with 14 today. Rod Thompson has to lead with 4 fouls. 6:26 remaining. We'll see him back pretty soon. Meanwhile, Sean Williams, now the point guard starter in for Bill Self. And Folks looking for 15. Boy, he is a difference maker for this club. He has 12 rebounds today with his 15 points.
We have had a bunch of lead changes today and a lot of ties.
There you go, Larry.
Thank you so much. Right on cue.
You're like Albert Brooks. You say it here, it comes out there. The miss by Eric Coley. 70-69 Fresno with 6 minutes remaining. Coley getting his feet tangled up with Terrence Roberson. Larry, down the stretch, the thing that strikes me about Fresno, who do you stop? They've got so many great individual players.
Well, they have, and the one thing that they like to do is get the ball to the inside if they can. As you see the foul committed right there by Cooley. I tell you, Roberson's really pretty good, not only at shooting the ball outside, but getting it down in there. We haven't heard much from Herron, though, in the last 5 to 6 minutes.
Eric Coley, 3 fouls, not 4. Winfred Walton pushes home the 3, and they can really spread it around, these guys.
And, Bob, that's exactly what you're talking about. You talk about other players on this floor, and then Walton steps up and nails the 3.
Tulsa calls the timeout. Scott Thorley wants to know if it's a 20 or a full. It is a 20-second timeout. Bill Self still has 1 left. Tark is out of 20s with 5:39 remaining. Tulsa gets things going Thursday at San Diego State, Saturday at Hawaii. And Larry, just because of the mileage and the logistics, those are tough trips. And then TCU in here next week. That'll really be a night.
Yeah, they've got 2 teams on the road that they may have a fair chance of beating, but TCU, SMU, good records. They got them in their own back door.
And then Fresno goes to San Jose State. That's a layup trip for them. In fact, they've got a home and home there. Home against San Diego, home against Hawaii, a club they handled on ESPN 2 weeks ago. So this remaining schedule definitely in favor of the Bulldogs for that second place spot.
Fresno State goes back to his own defense. It's like a 2-3 matchup, trying to keep the ball away from the inside, and particularly Ruffin.
High post, Zach Bennett. Ruffin down there in the hole. Thompson's back in. He didn't sit out very long with 4 fouls. Williams skipping it for Coley. Thompson for Williams. That shot blocked by Winfred Walton, but Ruffin got it back. Coley for Bennett. Had a tough time catching it. And that's a shot clock violation. Never got the shot off in time.
Ball never hit the rim. Good defense again by Fresno State. They went to that zone, and I think Tulsa obviously took a little too much time to get a shot up. That idea by Jerry Tarkanian.
That's a big stop for FSU, Larry. They've got a chance for maybe a 6-7 point lead. Forget it now. Thompson.
Well, that was a great steal. How about the anticipation, knowing the ball's coming to Herron? That's what good defense is on the outside, being able to anticipate when the ball is going to be passed.
Bill Self wants some defense here. Alston. No call. Fresno gets it back. Walton finds Alston, and he strokes it over Zach Bennett.
Has Alston had a hot 6 minutes here?
23 on the day, 13 since halftime. Thompson,
zone.
Nobody got him. Roberson reaching for the rebound. Bill Self screaming for a charge on that last Fresno possession. Ray for Alston for Herron.
Tulsa's back in his own defense now.
Walton muscling it down to Folks. Tremaine the reverse.
Boy, is he quick. One of the things you like about him, when he receives the basketball, he gets it up there so quickly.
Fresno's biggest lead now. They've never led by more than 4. They're up by a half dozen. Bennett for Williams. Off to the left. Walt down to Heron. Leaves it for Roberson. Loose ball. Whose is it? Officials are looking at each other. From behind, Ed Hightower will say Fresno. Timeout. 3:24 remaining. Only a Rod Thompson steal has kept Fresno from really opening things up. Bulldogs by 6.
Paging Bob Morello. Friends and colleagues, oh Bob. Tired of hearing Bob Morello constantly paged over this system? Then you'll love how our new MCI one-number technology locates even the elusive Mr. Morello. Behold, as I dial Bob's 800 number, witness the call bounce from Bob's office to his home and now to his cell phone.
Hello?
I give you MCI's one-number technology.
Who is this?
Circuit City has 3 great reasons why now is the best time to buy a digital satellite system. Right now, you'll get a free self-install kit or professional installation for only $99 with any DSS purchase. You'll also get a second receiver for only $99. We'll even give you an off-air antenna so you can still enjoy all your local programming for free. You'll get more movies, sports, and pay-per-view with DSS and all the right reasons to buy right now at Circuit City. You can't get a lower price. We guarantee it.
Give me land, lots of land, beneath the starry skies above. Don't fence me in, no, no, no. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. But don't fence me in. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences. Gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. Can't look and hobble.
Embassy Suites. See what a difference a stay makes.
Fence me in.
Now that little lady not waving this one goodbye yet. Well, how about that? A little Valentine's poem for us. Send a victory for to you. They've got some work left, Larry.
They do indeed. Fresno State's beginning to widen the gap right now. Tulsa needs to stop right here.
Alston for 3. Well, he's human. He finally missed one.
I'll tell you what, up until that point, I thought he was Superman. Now both teams are playing man-to-man. Thompson's open.
3. Big 3. Rod Thompson with 21. That gets Tulsa back to within 1 shot from that range.
Well, we talk about Rafer Alston. How about Rod Thompson with his last 2 baskets?
This game is huge for Tulsa considering their remaining schedule. And a chance to tie Fresno for 2nd place. Chris Heron kicks it for Winford Walt. He dances in, loses control. It's going back the other way.
See what Jerry Tarkanian does with his defense this time. Does he go back to that zone defense or does he go to a man-to-man?
Tark, 22 years more coaching at Division I than Bill Self. 27 years as opposed to 5. And they are battling it out toe-to-toe here.
They're back in his zone defense.
Coley penetrating. Look at that. Can't finish. He was too strong with it.
Oh, that would have been a big basket for Tulsa, but it goes the other way. Folks with a nice rebound. One of the things about rebounding for Folks is not so much that he can jump so high, but he's got great timing.
2 minutes remaining. One of these February games in the Western Athletic Conference that just rips your heart out if you're a fan of one of these 2 teams. Now that's going to be a full timeout for Tark. And he waited till 12 seconds on the shot clock to call it. Very interesting. Tark and his guys up by 3.
Sea has been in my family for about 200 years.
My name is Peter Kelly. I'm with Mobile. I was the first captain on the Eagle.
Oh, the Eagle
was the first double-hulled
super tanker
built and operated by an oil company.
It's 2 ships, one inside the other.
The oil is contained in the inner hull. The Eagle
was designed to be
as environmentally protective as it could be. Mobile makes sure that we have the best ships.
My job is to make sure that
we are also the best sailors.
Unleash the beast. Unleash the beast. Yeah! Release the beast. Walkies
Ready for the Edge pizza? Just take a deep breath and choose between 4 varieties of the new pulchritudinous pizza that take toppings to the edge. Then close your eyes and yell Geronimo. And when you're done, you'll be a man, my son. Have you been to the edge?
When it comes to renting a car, there's really only one place to go. National Car Rental, the official car rental company of ESPN. So what are you waiting for? Let's go!
Let's go! ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Mobil 1 Synthetic Motor Oil. Nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
77-74, Fresno. Now, more important right now than the game clock is the shot clock. 12 seconds left. Rafer Alston last month had 23 against a pretty solid Texas team. He's been the story for Fresno second half. Michael Ruffin from the get-go for the home team.
Another double-double for Michael Ruffin.
Sark has one full, no 20s remaining. Michael Ruffin's only shot the ball twice from the field this half.
Yeah, but I'll give Fresno State credit. They've kept that ball away from him. They played a lot of zone this second half.
Shot clock at 4. Alston. He couldn't get it up high enough on the glass. Marcus Hill, Coley, Thompson. He will take it. Bennett is there for the tip. And it's a one-point game in 90 seconds to go.
Oh, that was a great break by Tulsa. And a good idea to follow up the shot. 3 Tulsa men right at the rim.
The crowd wants a defensive stop. Chris Herron, 6 points in this half. Rafer Alston almost shuffling those feet. Herron sees an opening. Winfred Walton, short. Out of bounds for TU. That was a big stop.
And now Tulsa with an opportunity to take the lead.
Jerry Tarkanian, Danny Tarkanian at the other end side by side.
Not very often you find a coach's son sitting on the bench next to him as an assistant. I'm trying to think right now. Drew Catlin is the son of Dale Catlin of West Virginia.
Titus's nephew.
Nephew, that's right. Here we go. Big defensive play right now.
Now Bill Self, who hired John Phillips out of Broken Arrow High School to be his mentor on the bench, he calls the timeout. 51.5 seconds remaining with the home team down by 1. That's John Phillips in the middle of your screen, right behind Bill Self. Coached Broken Arrow to the 6A Oklahoma Championship around this time last year. Isn't that great, though, Larry? It's a great picture. The young coach working hard, and the mentor right behind him, taking it all in.
Exactly. Oftentimes, you like to have that kind of experience around you. A guy who's been through the wars.
I've noticed that there are some young head coaches. They'll bring guys back who have been in the game for a long time.
Right.
Rafer Alston tying his career high. Michael Ruffin, 6 of his 24 since halftime. Tulsa possession, here we go. Thompson, high post Ruffin. Nobody could make a back cut. Coley, look at him jump. How athletic is this guy? Herron reaches in for the foul, his 3rd.
It's going to be the 17th foul. Coley's going to go to the line.
And he is a 60% shooter. I just saw Scott Thorley hold up 2 fingers. That can't be right.
They're going to say he was going up for the shot?
Let's see. Yeah,
they are.
Wow. Well, makes no difference. This one to take the lead with 36.3 remaining. Tulsa timeout.
Well, now you've got to wonder what each huddle is going to talk about with 36.3 seconds left. Jerry Tarkanian can take the last shot. Does he want to do that or get one up there with maybe 10 or 15 seconds left and hope he can go back and get it again? See what he does.
Yep, 4. We got one timeout left. We get in trouble. 36 seconds.
here in Tulsa today. Tarks, Bulldogs, and Bill Self's Hurricane. We got bowling coming up next on ESPN, the Peoria Open. Coming up a little bit later, Mike Bush, Marshall Holman, and bowling legend Mark Roth, a part of the action today from Peoria. That's coming up next on ESPN. We've had one hoops game today in the Missouri Valley where Tulsa used to play. Southwest Missouri State on the road up in Normal against Illinois State. Alford against his counterpart, Kevin Stallings, coming up with a 97-87 win. In this game, in the WAC, we've had 11 ties and 9 lead changes.
This has been about as most an entertaining game as I have witnessed all year. These two clubs have played very, very well. They have taken care of the basketball. Not a lot of turnovers. Some good athletic play and strong rebounding.
The magic number for Fresno is 80. 13 of 14 when they reach it.
1 and 7 when they're under 80.
36.3 seconds to go. 94 feet to go for the Bulldogs. A game that means a lot for WAC tournament seeding and a possible NCAA for either of these clubs.
They can hold her for the last shot of this game if they want. Tulsa's man-to-man.
Less than a second differential between the clocks. Heron drives. Roberson on the wing. Traffic. Ruffins got it. Thompson fouled. Tulsa clogged it up and got the steal. 13.9 seconds to go. Even if they hit the free throws, they're only up by 2. Or excuse me, 3. So Rod Thompson will be the man.
Watch this effort. Coley gets in the middle of it right there, and Tulsa comes up with a big defensive play. How about Marcus Hill dropping back down in there? Now Thompson with a chance to put his club up by 3, and he misses.
Oh, that's big. Oh, Ruffin gets it back. Another foul. Roberson, and that knocks 3+ off the clock. That might be Michael Ruffin's biggest rebound of the year.
Now Thompson back to that line. This is a guy who's an 82% free throw shooter.
Bill Self thinking he can't miss twice.
He did. They got it back again and lost it.
Zach Bennett had it and lost it. A 2 will win it for Fresno. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. No. The tip. No. The game is over. Tulsa holds on. Larry Conley, a bunch of Hurricane players might know they've won their biggest game of the year.
Have they ever? That was a great game between 2 solid clubs.
That's Larry Conley. I'm Bob Carpenter. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Goodbye from a happy Tulsa.
The Pro Bowlers have come to the heart of the Midwest. We're in Peoria, Illinois. The Peoria Open is next on ESPN. He was the most dominant bowler on tour during the late 1970s and early 1980s. But if Mark Roth is a legend, so too is the best bowler of the 1990s, Walter Ray Williams, the 2-time defending PBA Player of the Year. Today, they're both after yet another title, but the veteran Tom Baker may have something to say about that. And so too may our #1 seed, Dave Traber. The 1998 Peoria Open title is up for grabs. We're at the Landmark Recreation Center for the 4th stop on the PBA Winter Tour. It's the Peoria Open. And on this Valentine's weekend, we've got a sweetheart of a show for you. Call it Legends Week. Our fifth seed today out of Buffalo, New York, making his second championship round appearance of the year, 43-year-old Tom Baker. In our first match, he'll meet up with Mark Roth, the PBA Hall of Famer, after his 35th career title. Our third seed today, one of the most consistent bowlers on tour, possibly a future legend, 31-year-old Doug Kent. Seated second, another Hall of Famer, the four-time PBA Player of the Year, Walter Ray Williams. And our top seed today, he barely missed the championship round a week ago, David Traber. And hello again, everybody. I'm Mike Bush, and thanks for joining us here in Peoria. And this week, there was no need to ask, will it play in Peoria? The Pro Bowlers always get a warm welcome here, and that's why they've been coming here for the past 19 years. Let's bring in my partner, the PBA Hall of Famer, Marshall Holman. And Marshall, this really was Legends Week in Peoria.
Well, it certainly was, Mike, and it was a lot of fun for me to watch as some of the greatest bowlers of all time showed their dominance here in Peoria. First, Walter Ray Williams Jr. having a slow start this year. Didn't cash in the first three events, but he's back. He's on our telecast, and he's here to dominate again like he did in 96 and 97. And then the great Mark Roth, the man who literally changed the game. All the people that watched back in the 70s and 80s watched the way he cranked the ball up and made those pins spin. He really was a visionary in the game of bowling. He's in our opening match.
All right, Marshall, thank you. And in our first match, two bowlers who've known